are up in the backcourt. Brandon Ingram's out there with Griffin, and it's McGee in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Schroeder. Over Beverly. And it's Schroeder missing.
A contested mid-range shot can't be what they were looking for there.
Well, especially with that defensive player in the area. You know he's going to find a way to get into the shooter and make him uncomfortable.
Now, here's Whiteside. After the miss from Dennis Schroeder. 4 on the clock. It's up a 3, and that one's good. Beverly. Doris, there is nothing like opening night in the NBA. Every fan base just teeming with optimism for the upcoming season.
I think all of us are just so thrilled to have NBA basketball back. There's no losses in the losing column. Everybody's happy. Let's tip it off and go.
And guys have that little step, and these first weeks of the season are always exciting.
Oh, no doubt. Everybody's bursting with enthusiasm. Players are fresh.
The second overall pick back in 2016, Brandon Ingram has shown us flashes. But whether it's defense or offense, still a ways to go.
The first free throw is good. And Greg, when you talk about Ingram, where would you look for him to make the next step in his game?
Well, that one season at Duke, he did shoot over 40% from 3. I think becoming a reliable shooter from out there would be a key building block offensively.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Pass to Whiteside. Back to Beverly. Outside, George. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's George missing.
Boy, a clean, close look. What a missed opportunity.
There's the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. And stolen by Harrell. Passes it to George. Puts it up from 12. That's good on the jump shot.
This is one of Paul George's go-to shots. His confidence and ability to rise and fire quickly from the mid-range, crucial.
Shooter passes to Ingram. Now here is McGee. Back to Ingram. Clock at 6. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. They get Hassan Whiteside. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
And that one falls for Ingram.
You guys, really no ceiling on Ingram. This is a guy who has the potential to be a truly great player before it's all done.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
And wow, you just have to love the motor on Montrezl Harrell when he's on the floor. Great on the glass, and he just plays with such a fire. And just scrapes and claws for that offensive rebound and doesn't take any chances there with the putback.
And Jay, strong work all around. And the rebound and the stuff both. Wow. And with Harrell, you can see how his energy spreads to the rest of the team.
Reminds me a bit of what Fareed used to bring the teams. Harrell is also undersized, but boy, he makes up for it in so many ways.
What's up?
That's good from Harrell. For first quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Schroeder looking around. Shoots from the line. Here's McGee, and it's McGee with the jam.
Impossible to stop the putback when he's got that kind of position.
Agreed, Greg. Let him get his hands on it inside and finish it off.
How about the activity level, the effort level? This team right now feeding off his energy.
Now, here is George. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Golden State. No good. He's off to a slow start. 1 for 4 so far. Griffin kicks it over to Schroeder. Pass to McGee. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. No points in the game yet for him. Just 5 on the clock. McGee finds Ingram. McGee trying to break free. Beat the shot clock, but it's off the mark. Here's on an open. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Outside, George. The 3 ball. He's again, and Whiteside finishes it off.
And the presence of Whiteside in the paint, really unreal. He is a dominant figure down low. Great work to grab that second chance opportunity.
Now here's Schroeder. He had a 27-point outing in the last game against Utah. And Oklahoma City making a change here. Noel's checked in. And then for the Clippers, Norman Powell's checked in for Anunoby. Lou Williams is subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. It's a 5-point game. Griffin passes to Schroeder. A shot off that time. Excellent D there from Williams. It's Powell on the wing. Gets an open look and hits.
Well, on the catch and shoot, Norman Powell ready to rise and fire.
Schroeder kicks to Griffin. Ingram passes to Griffin. And stolen by Harrell. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk.
No issues on that one. Good work all around.
Here's George after the made shot from Dennis Schroeder. Ingram with the steal. Pass to Griffin. Noel trying to break loose. 1:29 left to play in the first quarter. Outside, George nailed from 3-point land. George has got 5.
Gets 1 to fall, but only his second make in the first 7 attempts.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. They faced off right here last time they met, but the home club just couldn't pull out the win.
Yeah, I remember last time they met up, they just got ran out of the building. They weren't too happy with some of the calls in that game either.
Yeah, their starters got into foul trouble, and it felt as if some of the calls were ticky-tack, no doubt, but nonetheless, damage was done.
Thunder with some changes. James Johnson's checked in for Griffin. Harrison comes in for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And Aaron Holiday is subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. Reggie Jackson's checked in for the Clippers. Now here is Holiday. The dish to Ingram. Five on the clock. Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way. Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
Here's Holiday. Kicks it to Ingram. And there's the pass to Noel. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Clippers leading by 10. Over in the corner, Williams. From deep. That shot missing. And so it's Los Angeles going into the break with a 10-point lead. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. We've got more in store for you right after this. If you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. Guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
Taking a look at Los Angeles, they've got Whiteside. The Williams out there with Jackson. Then there's Norman Powell. And Harrell's in at the power forward. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Of course, you and I enjoy discussing pure scores. Great shooters. But guys that can score a myriad of ways. Give us a couple of names that we don't always hear about that really impress you.
Well, one young man who I think has got an offensive game that is really continuing to grow and is quite beautiful already is Zach LaVine. But probably the best example, Kev, would have to be the multi-time winner of the Six-Man Award, and that's Sweet Lou Williams. This guy can score against any defense. He's great in pick and roll. He has become a better playmaker, but Lou Williams is a problem to guard.
As people will say, he is a professional scorer.
That's perfect, yes.
Good on the second free throw. Thunder trailing by 11. Now Holiday still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Ingram against Powell. Second chance shot. Passes it to Harrison. Launches it. Hands it from downtown. Harrison's got it back down to single digits for the Thunder.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
On the wing, Jackson. He's guarded by Johnson. Here's Harrell. Here's Whiteside. The shot misses. Some solid defense from Ingram. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, takes the alley-oop pass, and dunks it down.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. JaVale McGee's checked in for Noel. And then for the Clippers, OG Anunoby comes in for Hassan Whiteside. And it's Mills in for Williams. Mills passes to Anunoby. He kicks to Jackson. Just 5 to shoot. The Clippers need to get off a shot. Offensive rebound. Harrell, that's good. Harrell's got 6.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Here's Holiday trying to get open as Johnson. The shot by Holiday, no good. And the dunk by Powell.
This is Powell at his best. In attack mode, he is hard to stop.
Thunder trailing by 10. The 55th pick back in 2009. Those picks don't hit very often, but Greg Pattyman with a decade in the NBA.
6'0", and that may be generous. And the Australian Mills, a dangerous pull-up shooter, and he does not back down.
Here's Jackson following the score by James Johnson. Another shot. Jackson misses. The Thunder have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. Shot is good in the Los Angeles leads. Cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from McGee.
And Ingram isn't just a sensational scorer. He can also dish the rock.
Now here's Harrell. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Warriors in San Francisco. Jackson against Holiday. Got it. Good job in the low post.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
For Oklahoma City, Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Johnson. Gilgeous-Alexander comes in for Ingram. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Aaron Holiday. The Clippers also making some changes. Paul George comes in for Norman Powell. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Jackson. Now here's Schroeder. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Here's George. They get it back. Harrell lays it up and banks it in. Harrell's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
And to me, Greg, this is a common theme that's running through the league right now. Guys looking to leak out rather than box out.
Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Griffin. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell. And for Blake Griffin, always a great outside shooter for the power forward position, Greg, but he's added range the last few seasons.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Griffin go from a guy who might take 1 3 a game to someone putting up about 6 a night. The results have been there for him as he shoots a respectable rate from beyond.
And the first one at the line is good. And Doris, you played point guard. What do you like to see from that position?
Well, I'm going to go back to the Showtime Lakers, which was my first team that I adored when I was a kid watching the NBA. And the reality is this, Kevin, I love to see teams play in transition, get out in the open floor. What's better than watching Steph Curry cross half court with a full head of steam and the defender knowing, oh, good God, anything could happen here. He might pull a three, he might finish in spectacular fashion off the run, or he might find a teammate for a momentum-building three. Like, get in transition and run, baby.
Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Well, coaches love seeing this from Dennis Schroeder. Recognize the situation, find the open teammate.
Here's Mills. That one doesn't go. Excellent D that time there from McGee. Harrison kicks it over to Schroeder. 1:46 left here in the second. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut to just 7 points in the basket from Griffin.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Feeds away. George, no good.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
Nerlens Noel checks in for Oklahoma City. Whiteside's checked in for the Clippers. Williams comes in for Patty Mills. Outside Griffin. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Now a chance to see the numbers for George. Great showing for him last season. First in steals, and of course one of the game's truly elite scorers with the second most points per game in the league.
And as you said, first in steals last season. You have to say he's the best ball hawk in the league right now. It may not even be close. That one is off.
This is part of the reason they're down. The free throw line has not been kind to them this quarter.
And he's good on the second.
A tenacious forward with high energy. It's clear that Griffin is still capable of throwing down a double-double.
Pass to Anunoby. Dishes it to George. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. Griffin's shot is off.
And they continue to control the glass.
Pass to Whiteside. Six on the shot clock. Fades and shoots. That shot off the mark. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team.
Yet another way Griffin beats you. Great body control going up over the top.
Beverly, the pass to Whiteside. Kicks to Williams. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Outside, George. The pass to Williams. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Williams has got his second bucket.
There's a real knack for understanding when a guy is uncovered. And Paul George's court awareness on display right there. Beautiful.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Nerlens, you guys had a tough time stopping their offense in the first half. What do you have to do differently?
We got to protect the paint. They're getting way too many easy baskets. That's us communication on front and the post, and, just communicating a lot more.
We'll see if those changes stick. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. From the get-go, it was the Clippers who came out strong. They put together some nice offensive stretches and at one point led by as many as 10. After a solid quarter of play, they held a 10-point lead. The second quarter wasn't as kind to them, but they still fought through some mistakes to have a 6-point cushion at the half. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass clean.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice shots. Those are some much needed points, and it keeps them right in the game. As long as they stay on the same page and keep working together, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, guys, Montrezl Harrell has been exceptional here.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Well, you can see why they would continue to play through him. He was tough to stop, super assertive down low, just great work.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Schroeder and Gilgeous-Alexander, they're up in the backcourt. JaVale McGee is out there with Griffin, and it's Ingram in at the 3 spot. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half. And hard to believe that gruesome injury Paul George suffered, what was it, 5 years ago. Wow.
It's incredible, Kevin, to think for a player to come back from what we expected to be a devastating injury. This is an incredible story for Paul George. He took the time he needed, and consider last year, for much of the season, he was very much involved in that MVP conversation.
Here's Beverly following the basket by Blake Griffin. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Dennis Schroeder.
And throughout his career, Beverly has remained a pest, an aggressive defender that no one likes having him guard.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
A 78% foul shooter a season ago. Pretty steady when he's at the line.
That's good from Beverly. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the basement.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
I remember it very well.
Incredible.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
And again, it's the Clippers missing.
Listen, if you're that wide open, you have to take the shot, even if it's not your favorite.
And it's Ingram missing. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Clippers. They've led by as many as 11 points. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. Knocked away. And so here is Oklahoma City. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander, defended by George. Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go.
The vertical of OG Anunoby. Go ahead, sir. Finish with authority.
Passes it to Gilgeous-Alexander. Over George. That's good from 17 feet away. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 4 points this quarter.
This guy, a tough cover for any defender. Creative and assertive scoring the ball.
And the Clippers call time here. And Doris, even though Schroeder changed roles when he was traded from Atlanta to the Thunder, he has embraced his new team.
A lot of people wondered, would Schroeder be willing to go to the bench and accept that role? He proved he was more than capable. And no longer having to act as a leader on a team, I think for Schroeder, he just enjoys going out and competing on a team with high aspirations. It's been a good fit.
Johnson, he's checked in for the Thunder. Aaron Holiday comes in for Dennis Schroeder. And then for the Clippers, Norman Powell's checked in for Anunoby, and it's Jackson in for Patrick Beverley. Outside, George. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. 9 points for George.
Now, Paul George is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot guy. Measures the shot before receiving the pass. It's hard to guard.
Jackson against Holiday. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. They get Hassan Whiteside. The Thunder made 5 of 8 of their free throw attempts.
Yeah, last season, around 71% of the free throws made. And you know what? That has to be a point of emphasis this year.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Over to the wing. Back to Jackson. Here's Harrell. He's got 8, and the officials call him for a 3-second violation. Here's what Oklahoma City's schedule is looking like. On Friday, the Minnesota Timberwolves will come into town. Then on Sunday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards.
And they are looking at a ton of road games in the next stretch, but this team shouldn't fear the idea of it. They've been more than capable of getting wins on the road, and I wouldn't expect anything less on this trip. And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Now, here's George. He's got 9. To the inside. Shot clock at 6. Johnson with the block. Harrell kicks to Whiteside. No good from outside. Thunder trailing by 4. Outside Holiday. Back to Johnson. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Johnson's got his second basket of the night.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Pass to Harrell. On pass to George.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
It's tough to hide your communications. Teams go to great lengths to try to do it, but sometimes to no avail.
Oklahoma City making a change here. Noel's checked in, and Los Angeles making a change here as well. Williams, he's checked in for George. Holiday dishes to Noel. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. The Thunder with another miss. Clippers leading by 4. Jackson down low, guarded by Holiday. Good D by Johnson. And Whiteside sends it back. Here's Jackson. Second chance effort, and it's good on the way in. Jackson's got his second basket.
This guy is just working his tail off on the boards. You love the effort, love the energy.
Holiday, the pass to Noel. Ingram against Powell. Now here's Ingram, guarded close, and the shot goes down. Ingram's got 5.
Gotta see Ingram get going down low. Just another dimension of his game that he continues to develop.
Holiday looking for an opening.
Gotta take care of the ball. They'll punish you if you're that careless.
That's right, and that's severe punishment right there.
Boy, in a tight game like this, that can change the whole tone. It helps your opponent get into a little bit of a rhythm.
Outside Jackson. Powell, the pass to Whiteside. It's good. And the Clippers lead by 4.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Holiday finds Ingram. And slam dunk by Ingram.
And it's easy to see just how dangerous Ingram is in the pick and roll. His size, the long arms, the shooting ability. The D has no clue as to what to do.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside Williams. Here's Harrell. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. 10 points for Montrezl Harrell. And here is Ingram. From deep three-point range, and that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. The third quarter comes to a close. Los Angeles on top. They lead by 4. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma.
We got to now start to anchor down the
3/10 quarters behind us. 1 more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. Our 4th quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So for the Clippers right now, Anunoby out there with Whiteside. Then it's Williams. Then it's Patrick Beverley. And it's Mills in at the point guard position.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising. It's such a tight game.
Here's Williams. And it's Noel with the rebound.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And Griffin slams it in.
And that's the trademark Griffin finish. Get in tight, elevate, and throw it down with authority. Big fella is a beast down low.
Mills passes to Whiteside, and the shot is good. And the Clippers lead by 4.
Boy, the bounce pass put right on the money. Nice assist.
Now here's Schroeder. He dishes it to Ingram. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
The knowledge that Ingram possesses, well aware that the D is going to hack him in these situations.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander checked in for Aaron Holiday. And a switch here also for the Clippers. George is checked in for Williams. Beverley, and no good. Straight D that time from Dennis Schroeder. They double-team Griffin, and Noel kicks to Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. On defense, the Clippers. They've played a great fourth quarter defensive, allowing only 3 points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And it's Mills with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. Pass to Beverley. Wants Looks to get it back to Whiteside and does. Drilled from 11 feet out.
Well, this guy flat out carrying the load for them offensively. He is taking and making good shots. What a terrific job.
To the right side. Griffin passes to Schroeder, and Whiteside sends it back. Outside, George. The pass to Whiteside. And they double up Whiteside. George, that's a two-pointer. They grab their own miss. And Whiteside stays right with it. And the Clippers lead by 5.
I'll tell you, he's been much better in the second half. He's taking smarter shots. He's looking more comfortable. And guess what? He's in a groove.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. JaVale McGee's checked in for the Thunder. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for the Clippers. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Billy Donovan talking to his team. Not happy with the way this game is going. He said they're getting used out there on the perimeter. Inside the arc, we're doing some good things, but outside, we're a disaster. Tighten it up. Kevin, we'll see if they can close out on those shooters a little more effectively.
He kicks to Whiteside. 5 to shoot. Passes to Beverly. Fires from deep. McGee with the block. And that one's good. Beverly. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Schroeder passes to McGee. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Griffin. That one's not going to go. Great D that time from Harrell. Ingram against George. And George with the stuff.
Well, an aggressive player at the rim. Paul George has the kind of athleticism to make a defense look silly.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Stolen by Beverly. George with the ball. Now guarded by Schroeder. Here's Whiteside. That ball is good for another field goal. His 6th. He is 6 for 9 on the stat sheet.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Here's Griffin. To Gilgeous-Alexander. 6 to shoot. Schroeder outside. Ingram outside. Will it go? McGee trying to break free. And it's Ingram missing. Clippers leading by 10. Here's George. It's stolen by Schroeder. And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. And the slam dunk by McGee.
And this is why Griffin is so valuable to his team. Always willing to share the rock.
1:56 left in the fourth quarter. From 12 feet out, another one falls for the Clippers.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
He feeds it to McGee. And Whiteside sends it back. Beverly with the ball. Lets a floater go. As JaVale McGee with the rebound. McGee's got 6 rebounds here tonight, and he comes up with the deuce. 14 points for Blake Griffin.
And that's just too easy. When Griffin gets to that area of the floor, expect him to finish.
And the Clippers call time here. They're up by 8. We've got 1:18 left to play here in the fourth. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he had.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. Here's George. He sticks that one in from 20 feet away.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for Los Angeles.
I think the attitude was very impressive. Definitely a competitive game, and they fought through it each step of the way.
Absolutely. They put on a tremendous performance in terms of the effort and intensity. This was a well-deserved win.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Hassan Whiteside.
Boy, I thought his best work was his pursuit of the basketball. He competed for every rebound, fought for position in the paint, and never stopped working. I love it.
Gilgeous-Alexander kicks it over to Schroeder. McGee bounce pass, shoots from the right block, and Ingram finishes inside.
Unselfishness can be infectious. Terrific teamwork.
Now, here is George. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Whiteside inside. So the Clippers with the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks.